Okay. Hey y'all, back again with Doobie and Pins live from the living room with your hosts, Jen and Rob. Uh, and I was thinking earlier that I don't know if we're allowed to refer to ourselves as light skins anymore.
What do you what do you mean light skins?
Well, I know you don't follow the socials the way I do, but I just and I guess as a biracial, and again talking biracial, strictly black parent, white parent. I guess I can appreciate the move towards identifying as biracial, not as black.
So
So
like so you mean we can't go, excuse me, go by light skin in a reference to being light skin black
correct.
because now we're just considered what?
Yeah, so not all black people, but are saying no, that you're biracial, mixed black and white. You're not black. You
Yo,
you
what black
you are.
people are the like
I again, I don't. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just I've never had to re-question that until now.
so you've actually experienced this.
Experience what?
Someone, a black person saying like first person that like if you're mixed, you're not black.
I don't know. I think we've all experienced it to a certain extent when you are around. Maybe not you as a male biracial, but as a female, I may not have heard someone say it directly, but I definitely experienced it with black females. This idea that you don't understand or you're not, it's just I don't know how to explain it, but
No, I
but it's
know,
definitely it's
like you don't
definitely
like
a
because you're
no,
not really
because you're
black.
not really black.
You don't get it,
Like you don't have a black mom, so
right?
you don't. That's the other thing, and then it goes even further with people saying that if you are in the dynamic, the mix where the mother is white and the father is black, which is the case for both you and
Right,
myself,
quite a few
that
folks.
quite a few, that you're even further away from it because they say that a child kind of, which I'm like, I suppose maybe in the typical black household, I don't know if we're going back to the idea that of the absent father. I don't know where they're going with this, but the idea that you learn who you are or from your mother. So if you have a white mother, I don't know if this means whether or not you have a daughter or a son, but if you have a white mother, you cannot possibly learn. Let's say I'm a female, as I am, and I have a white mother. I cannot possibly learn from a white mother how to be a black female. So how on earth am I a black female?
Huh. Okay, all right.
Which is a fair argument.
But then hold on. What about in a situation like where parents, either parent, male or female, mom, dad, isn't around in any cultural setting, so black, white, Indian, or whatever. So if the dad isn't around and the white kid can't learn how to be white or can't be raised white because his dad, you know what I mean? Because the white dad isn't
You're
around.
saying it's a black mother, white father, and the kid's dad.
No,
What are you
no,
talking
I'm
about?
saying, no. I'm saying race on race. So like if, right, like if
I guess maybe a premise, because we're in America. The premise is you don't need to learn to be white. That's there.
okay.
Is that what you mean?
So no, I'm just saying, yeah, I mean essentially, but who teaches you to be what you are if that person isn't around? So a mom or dad can teach a girl or a boy
Right. That's
how
why I
to
didn't
be.
understand why it mattered. The mother mattered
Uh,
because I learned a lot from my dad.
yeah, you have a black dad, right?
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
So
Who's saying that the
I
mom
that's what I'm
matters?
saying. Are they going off of the idea that of the absent father being a
Who
thing
is
in the black
they?
community? I don't know. Because why are you relying so much on the mother? I mean, I guess because the mother's the nurturer, the mother is your first teacher, but I don't see how that. I don't recall me even thinking about what I was or how I identified until I was a lot older. So I don't know that that matters so much as a child. I guess maybe just what you're introduced to. If mom is the
What if your mom is Whitley from Different Strokes?
it's called A Different World, you idiot.
Different World.
Different
That's right.
Strokes
Different
was
Strokes is the
what's his name? The little dude.
I knew it was different something.
Yeah. So no. But either way, that's the idea. Is this push to say, you shouldn't. You're not black. You are biracial. And I think there's so many things that go into that. Yeah, I don't know when exactly I decided to say I was going to identify as black. But I think it just comes down to, well, you're not white. And I think you made this point before, where you just go off of what you think the world sees you as.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I think there's the two, your own self-image and what you garner from, what you're taught or who you're with or what you relate to. But then there's absolutely what the world teaches you are. And that's why I've always said, I guess, you being from New York, me being from below the Mason-Dixon line, that it can be different. But the world from where I can remember my earliest days told me I was black. Like I was not, just because I'm biracial and I'm lighter than you, the world was never like, oh, hey, tan white boy.
Correct.
Right. So, and that's why I wonder where it's coming from now. The idea that that's not the case.
I think it's the growth. Like I was telling you about that one article I skimmed. It's I think a magazine, Kellogg Insight. It was from a while ago, from 2017, that sort of touched on how our biracial or multiracial people seem, but it focused on black-white biracial mix. In saying, I think it comes from how the numbers have grown. So it mentioned in like 1970, 1 out of every 100 children were considered multiracial, biracial, and now that number has increased to 1 in every 10. Which,
yeah, but why would that preclude like black people all of a sudden being like, if you're mixed, you're not?
I don't think it's all of a sudden. I don't think it's all of a sudden at all. I think it comes down to, not that I expect you to say yes, but do you know or have you heard of Dr. Umar Johnson? I think that's his. I know everyone calls him Dr. Umar. I'm pretty sure his last name is Johnson.
Nope.
Well,
I have it.
pretty popular in the black community. But I like what he
amongst who?
I said in the black community.
Amongst who in the black community?
I mean, I don't know what you mean. You want me to name people?
No, what group? Like if I go on my group chat and I'm like, yo, have y'all heard of?
I bet you they have.
Who is it?
I would really be shocked if one of your friends has not heard
One out of 6.
Shut up.
You wouldn't be surprised.
more than 1 out of 6 would have heard of Dr. Umar. Even Robert and Gary, they know about Dr. Umar. He's fairly popular on social media.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. Like, would they have read his books? My friends, or would they have to be active on social media?
No, they would probably have to be somewhat active on social media.
Hold on, though. Can I ask a question?
Yes, go on.
Is he real doctor or is he like that light-skinned chick?
No, he's not Cheyenne Bryant. Is that her name? Doctor. No, he's legit.
People have vetted him, I guess.
Yes. He's legit. But his take on biracial, again, specifically talking black, white, is that it was never a part of black history. I think it was an Africanism, but black history to reject the biracial child, because even during slavery, you understood that that wasn't a choice, right? The slave master could do what he wanted with whoever, and so those children were always seen as part of the slave and black community. They were never looked at as other, and so no, he does not. And he also doesn't think that there's any particular difference between whether or not the mother's black, white. That doesn't matter. To him they're considered black, as far as I understand. But yeah, so I don't think it was always that way. I think what it comes down to, and that article in the Kellogg Institute mentions this as well. I think it comes down to whether or not that does the black community believe that biracials share the same experiences as they do? Right? Because if you're saying, well, that's part of how I identified, is I went with how I was treated, right? Because that's how the world sees me anyway. Well, then if the black community understands that as a biracial person, you face the same negative shared experiences, is that where it comes from? And do you think that I have some sort of advantage because I'm lighter skinned, my hair is different?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I must be getting old, because since when did black people start thinking that wasn't the case? And maybe it's just from growing up below the Mason-Dixon line, but like, when, I don't know, maybe I'm not that, like, but I can't think of a time where I've ever heard a black man refer to a biracial mixed brother, a mulatto, a octoroon, whatever they are, and be like, nigga, we don't have the same experience. Like, you don't, like, the cops don't fuck with you. They let you go. Like, they don't, you know what I mean? Like, when something goes bad, the white people are like, no, he's with us. Like, right? So that's what I said. Like, when did that change? Because as far as I know, like, again, when he went down the ocean last weekend for 4th of July, last thing I said to him, or second to last thing I said to him was like, hey, 4th of July weekend, heightened police presence, you're still going to be the minority. Like, right. Don't give them a reason, right? Like, right? Like, so when did it, you know what I mean? Or am I old school and it's not that way anymore? When I drive around, I don't need to be worried when a cop is behind me.
Okay, well then I guess another. I guess
because
another.
ICE might think I'm Mexican.
But here, right? I was about to say it depends, and that's where you grew up matters, and what you look like matters. Not all biracial people look the same.
Yeah, but you have to. But what I'm saying is like, don't we still live in a world where you would have to look all the way white to be treated as white?
As far as I'm aware.
So then, why would black people treat light-skinned people differently? Like, because
that's what I'm saying. Do they have do they perceive?
Again, I don't know, because this is a new different. This is the idea that black people look at light-skinned or mixed people, biracial people that way is a new concept, a brand new concept for me. Like, I wouldn't have never even considered that. So I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I cannot personally think of any situation where I've seen or heard or even read about black people, black person, black whatever, treating someone of biracial, right, like a red bone, right, differently. Like, or like I've just never heard, like I can't, not in fraternities, not in gangs, not in cliques, not in rap groups, not in, you know what I mean? Like, I can't think, of that, and so maybe it is a thing between women, black women, which is unfortunate. Right?
Well, what about this idea that mixed race individuals are perceived as more attractive on average?
Uh, Again, is that
That's
just black and white, or is that black and Asian and
it, this
Irish
is
and
just
like?
mixed race people.
I don't know.
So
it's your preference. Like I
let's
am
see.
pretty sure there are a bunch of people who still prefer what they look like, right? Like same. So I'm certain that there's still a lot of black people who think black is black don't crack, and black is more attractive. I think there's a bunch of white people who think white people that's what they want to be. Hispanics are like, nope, I only fuck with Hispanics, right? Like I
Well,
don't,
I don't
you know what I
know.
mean?
I
So I
don't
don't know
know.
how to really say that. Like when I think there's still a lot of, you know, heterogeneity, if that's even a word, when it comes to what you find attractive.
Okay.
You know. Now it may be, and it wouldn't be coincidental. It may be that if you're looking for people to agree on what's attractive, maybe mixed races are more attractive in that sense because people see some of themselves in that, and they're like, okay. If you want me to agree with you, right? Like if I'm black, I'm like, no, I don't think, you know, whites are attractive. Like, all right. But isn't this mixed person like, can we agree that they are attractive? And you're like, all right,
So
yeah,
I
because
mean,
they black and they
remember the
white, right?
whole
Like I don't.
the whole best of both worlds, right? So I don't know, but I think that that's part of why. So let's just say that that's potentially true, that biracial people or multiracial people are seen as more attractive because you have an interesting arrangement of features that you wouldn't have necessarily otherwise. So they're seen as more attractive, and unfortunately, more attractive leads to other things, right? As being more than. So I don't know. Maybe there is something to be said about the idea that yes, that it comes down to not believing that we share similar experiences. And it's funny that you say it as a guy because I wonder if it's stronger coming from black
I
women.
think that I was gonna say to me when I hear you say that, I just in my mind I think people
So
just
you've
don't. I
never
think
had to
people
deal
just
with
don't
that. You've never had
necessarily
to deal
like
with that
ugly.
with
Like
black.
I think if people have a choice between attractive and ugly, they're gonna choose attractive. Like so, it's hard. You know.
So you're trying to tell me that among black men and black boys, you were never treated differently.
Yeah.
I find that
Yeah.
hard to
Of
believe.
course, I was. There was an assumption when I was younger that I was soft because I was light skinned and I have light eyes.
Right.
Yeah, so I used to have to punch motherfuckers in the face all the time, and that's why I am the way I am now. Because, right, there is some assumption that well, what I got from my white side is that I'm soft, right? Right, just like I'm sure there was assumptions made, in Highlandtown about me, right, because I was half black, right, like, but yes, technically it absolutely had to do with the fact that I was light skinned. However, in my mind, I chalked it up more like it's growing up being a boy. Like you're going to be identified as soft and weak and tried for something. You're short, you're two-tone skinny, you're fat, you're fucking quiet, you're a Google, like whatever it is. Like you're going to get, you know what I mean? Like I know, like growing up, like Wesley Snipes, black motherfuckers got made fun of too, right? Like by black people, right? Like,
That's true.
right? And so I never, because again, if the cops came around the corner or rolled up on us, like we were all getting treated the same. They weren't taking me to the side. Come with me, son. what are you doing over here with these Negroes, right? Like it
Huh.
wasn't going down like that.
How about, do you feel like teachers treated you differently?
No, I would say that my experience with teachers has always been teachers in my experience, I should say, have always treated people on intelligence. Not like I've never really, you know what I mean? Like it was always like, are you smart? Are you one of the smart ones or one of the dumb ones? You know.
So you don't think, or you can't imagine, I should say, that based on the color of your skin
No, I can absolutely
and the
imagine it.
color of your eyes,
Yeah, I can
that
imagine.
you were not.
Okay, hold on, but let's go back to ask me how many black teachers I had. Because we're talking about how black people treat it.
Oh,
Like,
but
not either way, because, yeah, of course I expect, like, white teachers to treat people like, are you kidding me? Like, I grew up below the Mason-Dixon line
so
and was
okay,
born
so that's
biracial
the
and was
other part
born
of it.
biracial
I said,
in the
is it?
late 70s when that shit still wasn't
I
a thing.
said, is it also because of shared experiences not being the same?
Yeah, but I would
So,
argue that they are the same because, again,
well, then finish.
Me and Damon were treated the same because we were both smart.
Again, my question was, are you telling me that based off the color of your skin, your eyes, or whatever, how you looked in general, that you don't believe you received, nor, okay, better yet, and be honest with this, because if you say otherwise, you're full of shit. You didn't use it to your advantage.
Not with teachers.
How?
Amongst my peers, I
How?
did,
How?
absolutely. With girls.
Okay, so you
Because
don't.
by the time I was a teenager, being light skinned was a thing. It was a fad. It was a thing. Albie Shore had come along, even before Yo started smoking crack in, in New Jack City. I am my brother's keeper, right? Like the light skinned dude, like it was but again, never ever can I say that I was felt treated differently
How did you use it to
by
your
black.
advantage with girls?
Well, because not everybody had light eyes. Like it was just being different. What do you mean? Like you were just different. You like I said, it was a fad. You were a fad. You were like scrunchies. You know what I mean? Like right? Like you know.
Scrunchies and swatch
I
watches?
just for me it's just I just can't but I can believe. I don't want to say I can't believe because I can believe, but I just find it interesting, I would say, that it's changed in the black community and mixed race light skin are seen as different. Like I just don't. Yeah,
I don't think I don't I would imagine that it's not the black community as a whole. I think it's a small, I hope, a small part, but it seems
yeah, but
like that's
aren't
kind of a
those the
thing.
same? Aren't those like the MAGAs? Like, isn't that just the far
The
left?
far opposite,
You
the
know what I mean?
opposite
Right,
side of
right. Like
racism.
it's just like you know what I mean? Like those dudes who were marching in D.C. last week or whatever, who were so tough they had masks on their
I don't
face.
even understand. Like
You
that's the
know,
whole part about it. I
right?
don't understand. Do you know what? They were peaceful, gathering, whatever. Y'all did y'all things with the matchy going on. The masks, that's where you
Well,
missed me.
that's how you
That's
know
where,
it's
because
not.
that's how you know
It's
something
not.
ain't right.
Well, it's still not me. It's not acceptable. It's not okay, right? Like you don't want people to know you're a fucking racist. Like right? Like it's not a
But
badge
then why are you doing what you're doing?
because
Why are
you
you
feel that
organizing
way.
like
Well,
this?
because you feel that
Well,
way.
then be bold and say how you
No,
feel.
absolutely not. Because
Well, because you don't want to lose your job,
Yeah, you'll lose your job. You'll
then
get
don't
canceled.
participate.
No, I want to participate because I believe in it,
That's
and
some
there's a
whack ass
workaround.
shit. Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't understand. You know what? Everybody has a right to do.
Well,
All right,
that's
cool.
also how you
That
know.
stupid math
That's
shit.
how
That
you
was so
know
weak.
that whole thing. And they try to equate it and make it similar. Is not anything like the civil rights movement. Like you couldn't wear a mask. You were black. You
Right.
know, and I guess that's how I feel like about the biracial thing. Like you can't, like you're black, like
Right.
you are not white.
And I think that
If you're Asian and white, you're fucking Asian, right? If you're Argentinian and white, you might even look like, but you are not white. Like
you're
like
white passing.
yeah, you might be white, but you're not. And I don't. I mean, is anybody white anymore? Really? I mean, isn't everybody mixed up with something?
Yeah,
And
I don't know that
if you
the
go
yeah.
back to the originators, Irish wasn't white enough, and you had all of
Italians
that
weren't white
shit, and
enough.
then
Yeah.
you add religion to it, and
But I
yada
mean,
yada
I guess
yada.
I sit and it isn't just, I mean, I don't know how most people feel, but I think that when I decided that I was going to identify as black,
But do you really
shut
have
the
to fight black
nigga.
though? Like, really? Do you, or like, do you just prefer black
I'm
culture?
not gonna wear a daishiki. No.
Well, that's identifying as African.
Yeah, but because I don't identify as an African American, I never will.
Too far away. Too dis.
Because I never did when we started with the African everybody back to Africa thing. No,
African Bambaataa. Shouts,
I did
shout
not
to.
resonate or connect with that idea at all, and not because I have anything against it, but first of all, Africa is a whole continent.
Yeah, with 84
Okay,
countries,
with
64
how many
countries.
countries and how many different languages, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So to sit
culture,
here, cultures,
language,
they make it
everything.
seem
Yeah.
like Africa is just one big, no, it's not. So for me to sit here and say I'm African American, that to me that's the same as saying I'm European, as if to say there's these countries are no, what are you? So because I cannot, I have no direct link or information to anything to do with Africa.
Would you feel differently if you did your ancestry.com or
No,
whatever,
because that doesn't tell me
and then you
anything.
found out, you know what I mean,
Found out what?
that you went
I'm
back,
part Japanese?
you went back to whatever African nation, went back, found like
No.
found the
I don't.
community.
I accept that I am American.
But you're a black American.
I accept that I am American, whatever that is. I happen to grow up in the part of America, in the Bronx, where the culture was very, very heavy Hispanic and black. That's all I grew up knowing. So yeah, for most of my life, I was mistaken for Puerto Rican. And still am, or some sort of
Right, yeah.
Latina.
Yeah.
But that's what I grew up. I grew up listening.
So you grew up not white but not black. You just grew up cultured, right? You grew up cultured, right? Around different, and it wasn't just, Puerto Ricans in the Bronx, right? It was Dominicans, it was Venezuelans.
In the Bronx.
What?
Everybody's in
Right,
the Bronx.
right. So it was just multicultural, right? You knew it wasn't the east side of Manhattan, Upper East Side.
Yeah,
right?
but when
Wasn't...
it came to certain things, like where am I getting my hair done? Interestingly enough, when the Dominicans hit the scene, and they probably had been there the whole time, but we didn't discover them until I was about 11. That's where we went to go get our hair done, but that's where all the black girls went.
Well, I was gonna say, because it wasn't about
done.
who was doing the hair; it was about the hair,
Right.
the hairstyle, right? Like,
and I'm sorry that like no one could do it better than, depending on what you were looking for.
well, yeah, if you want the straight,
if you want your hair cut,
if you want your hair straight and looking white, you gotta go to Dominicans. That just sounds crazy, right?
Yeah,
right? But that just like.
Yep. They're gonna have your silk press
looking tough
for you. Yep, for sure. But yeah, so, or the music that I listen to.
Right, yeah, and I just
again, did I go to the Baptist church every Sunday? No. I mean, if I were more, if I were closer to, that's the one thing I can say, I wasn't close to either side of my family growing up. if I were closer to
All
my
right, so
father's side,
then
my
I
black
mean,
side,
well,
absolutely. That they
all right, so nature versus nurture. Like, what if you're, you know, you're anything other than black kid, any race, adopted by a black family in a black community, and you grow up with a black mother and learning all the shit. Are
yeah.
you black? Like, are you black?
See,
Are you
I
allowed
think
to claim that you're black? Like,
I think that that's why your point about you identify as what the world sees you as, because yeah, as black as that kid may feel, he's never going to be treated that way
right? Because he's not black.
because he's not black.
As far as
That's what you
your,
look
but
like,
as
right?
your right, your
Right,
race, right,
right,
your race.
right.
So,
So yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. I think it comes down to number one, what does the world see you as? Because isn't that why we all identify as something? It's because the world has decided, society has decided that that's how you're treated.
well, yeah, that part. But even before that, your community, your tribe was different than other. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And what
but
made it different? Your
right,
language, the gods you believed in, the color of your skin, right? Like, yeah, that's all. You know what I mean?
right.
I'm telling you, I'm about to find out about this black people thing though. And I'm gonna ask
You're
some
gonna conduct some
serious
study.
questions. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking ask around. Because I wanna know if that's really, is that really where things have degraded to where you look at separations of classes, of races, ethnic, whatever in society, and wanting to, the great American way of wanting to blame someone else for your issues, your problems. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
And if someone can convince you it's someone else and you can hate that
Well, of
group
course.
or that people, right, then you are absolved of some responsibility and it gives you like whatever, right? Like we don't need to get into all of that. But is that what it's about? Like, we've gotten to a point where like now you're like, instead of it being the man that's the problem, it's everybody who doesn't look exactly like you is the
Right.
problem.
I honestly don't understand I don't know where it comes from. I don't understand I don't understand the point behind it really at all. And again, I think the only thing I could come up with is the idea that you believe, as a person who can argue that they're completely 100% black, whatever that is, that you believe that we go through this world differently. That I do not experience blackness the way you do because I am not. Because what does the world see me as, right? If you look at me and the first thing you think is she's Latina of some sort, right? Am I treated differently because you think that and you don't think I'm black? I don't know. How would I know that?
I mean, yeah,
I don't know that.
Yeah, but you don't know that. That's the thing.
I mean, I just had somebody at work ask me who I was, even though I don't, I guess people, or does he ask me, who am I rooting for in the World Cup? I was like, no one.
Oh, because you look like you're from another country.
Right.
And they just
I
assume
was just trying to see where you were from. I was like, I'm from the Bronx.
the Bronx doesn't have a team in the
The
World
Bronx
Cup.
doesn't have a team in the World Cup.
But you're not American, though. You're not.
No,
like,
but if you ask me who, I don't care who wins. But it would have been nice to see the United States win, because that's where I am from. That I am American. I don't understand why. I think it's crazy that black people don't accept the flag and embrace the flag.
Well, because there's
I think it's a slap in the
well,
face.
see, here's the thing, because I don't, right? So
Yeah, but if
no,
you
no, 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 because
no, nothing. If you
no,
want to
because
say,
that
if you
no,
say that
no,
this country was built
no, I'm not. No, no,
just the
no. I'm
same,
allowed. You know what? This country and the how it was built and what it stands for affords me the right to not support the parts about it that I don't fucking agree with and don't like. And I know enough about history, as do many folks, and my own personal experiences and what I see happens day over day in this country where, yeah, there are parts of, you know, being American that I wouldn't live anywhere else and all this other shit and blah, 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 blah. But like, yo, there's a lot of shit that's done in the name of that flag and in God we fucking trust that I don't agree with. That is fucking wrong. And so for me, I don't have to I don't have to support that. I don't know. I don't know. What if you're all in on the American way? There are Americans who love all that shit. The prejudice, the racism, the fucking exploiting other countries and other poor people for their natural resources and blah blah blah. There are people who are down for all of that. In every country, whatever the country. I'm just saying I'm allowed, based on the founding fathers and their right to say, you know what, no, I'll stand, but I'm not fucking putting my hand on my heart. I'm not fucking saying that shit. I'm not fucking singing along. I'm also not taking a knee, right? Because I don't, you know what I mean? There are parts of like being an American is all right. Having the ability to, change your circumstances and do all these things and So no, I'm not necessarily moving to Cape Verde. But at the same time, I'm not gonna fucking salute the same flag that the motherfuckers wearing the mask salute and act like that's the country that I'm not doing that.
But do you believe in the ideals of this country? Just because
yeah, I said that's the part of it, right?
Just because what's being done.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Wrong,
I do right. I said the first thing I said is I believe in the ideals and the fact that I have the right to act the way I feel because of those ideals. 100%.
Well, yes, I identify as an American.
As an American.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, my passport's American. Like, nobody's saying there's anything wrong with that, but
But I think generally speaking, I just don't know what good it serves anyone to not say, we're here and what are we going to do with here, right? Like I believe in what that flag stands for. It's unfortunate that that's not necessarily the case, but I believe in what the flag stands for. And so I just stand by that and hope that we just continue to do better.
Yeah.
Because what I'm not going to do is say I'm moving to Nigeria.
Right. But there's an in-between though. There's a lot of in-betweens. You can do something to help make it better. You can protest in your way that you want to protest,
Yeah. I don't know. But the mixed race thing, I just think that it comes down to how you identify, like I said, first how you believe the world sees you. And then what do you connect with?
Yeah, what do you right? Yeah.
What do I personally connect with?
Yeah, but isn't there a limit to that though?
Limit to what?
To what you connect with?
How?
And that it doesn't change who you are, like that one documentary with the black-white girl, the white-black girl.
Don't get me started with her. What about?
Right, but she identified as black.
She is absolutely not, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So where do you draw the line on
You draw the line. I
as
said
what I see you as,
first and
right?
foremost, what is the world going to see you as?
All right.
That just is what it is. No one looked at her and was like, that's a black woman.
Okay.
Until she started doing crazy shit with her hair and stuff. It was like, wait a minute, what? But yeah. So yeah, there's a limit. Kind of. I mean, good for her. She's a really good artist.
Yeah.
If nothing else, she's pretty good with
Based
that.
on that shit that was on that documentary, she was definitely skilled.
But yeah, I just think that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the discontent is with the biracials, but
I mean, maybe it's just a new focus of the hate. Everybody needs somebody
I
to
tell you
hate.
what, Dr. Umar did say something because on the show, podcast, whatever they had going on, one of the hosts, I think she's a host or whatever she is, she's light skinned, and he said, if you're light skinned, he was like, and you're gonna date a black man, don't do it. And how are you supposed to know this? Don't do it because you know that he sees you as better than, like, he's only targeting you because you're light skinned. Because he doesn't mess with dark skinned girls, whatever. So don't. And I'm sitting here saying, okay, how are you supposed to know that someone is approaching you just
Maybe they say it.
because?
Maybe dudes say it. Maybe through conversation they'll be like, I like light-skinned girls better. I don't know.
Like, whoever is saying that and the girl is still entertaining that conversation is weird. And because why are you, what?
Well, she's light-skinned. She's like, I'm up in the game.
No thanks. No thanks. And then there was that one, the one post that was, I think she's a mix. I don't know if she's mixed herself. I told you about this, where she made that crazy ass comment. I think it was crazy when she goes, I hate when a white woman tries to tell me that she has a black, like Slick tries to tell me that she has mixed children by saying shit like, I love your hair. My daughter has hair just like yours.
See, but that's what I'm saying. This really must be, and I'm not saying it's not at all.
And that does happen.
I'm not saying it's not at all in the male world.
I already know it is. I
like,
have to
sure,
ask you. I always have to ask you 21 questions.
I'm sure it is
to get something out of you.
But like, this really sounds like a more of a female thing, because that's a conversation dudes never have. Like, no dude is ever coming up to me, nor am I ever going up to them talking about my son or my daughter's hair being like their son or daughter.
Well, you're bald. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe. But it's not like me. It's like their hair, right? Like,
well, what you're going to do with a boy's hair is not what you're going to do with a girl's hair.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of things I think that
there's a lot of things that just don't come up.
Right, that's come up maybe between women.
But again, like I told, if a white girl, that's such, when I went to go see a patient, a nurse just asked me the same thing. She said the exact same thing to me.
Yeah,
I
but
love
maybe it's
your
curiosity.
Hair,
maybe because I have a mixed kid. What do you do with your hair?
I took that as, you need some advice.
Right.
So I just went right in. I went right on my phone and was like, "This is
then
what I
guess
use."
To me, the girl who made the post about I hate it when da 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 da,
and
is the same as any other race person making a post about a race they don't like. You know what I mean? It's just hate. Like, it's just
hate. It's very hateful.
That's just people. That's a people thing, though.
And
race is the number one thing to hate on and dislike about someone else. It's the number one obvious in your face differentiator. So
I don't know. Me personally, I love seeing more biracial
Because you're biracial.
mixed. No, I think it's I like seeing it because it makes I don't think it's because I'm biracial. Well, yeah, but not for that reason. I think it just makes you feel more like, okay, so we are a thing. like
Well, if you ever felt like we weren't a
like
thing, like what?
we're not these like not anomalies, but like I don't know. It feels different being biracial today than it did 40 years ago. That's for sure.
Well, yeah, because 40 years ago, you still blacks and whites still weren't allowed to like interracial marriage was still a thing 40 years ago. Like
What's
people
crazy is
forget
it's
that.
still a thing. It's just not as it's still
Well, what's helped,
it's still
if
a thing.
anything, like I said, is all the mixing of all the races, right? Because of globalization, right? Societies are more mixing pot, like more intertwined than ever before everywhere you go, right? Immigration, migration, all of those things happen in every
It's
country,
time to close
everywhere,
the
right?
borders.
And so you get more mixes in general, you know what I mean? But I don't know. As long as in my mind, as long as things are black and white mixed, will always be black. Like,
The one drop rule. I mean, I don't think people realize that, you know,
but that's a uniquely American thing, right? In Africa and in the Middle East, in ancient times it was the opposite. Like if you had any, a drop of, something lighter in you than you were, but that
or
was
what
just a way to
I thought
control
even here
society.
they wanted to, it was prior to what, where it was whatever your father was.
Well, that's because they were trying to figure out how to count black people for
And
the
that's when
the
they
purpose
decided
of
it was the mother.
representation in Congress and all of
No,
that
because
shit.
it was the issue was what to do with the offspring of these white men, right? So because they didn't want to consider these offspring all white, because well, what would that mean? Then they flipped it and turned it into no, you're what your mother is. But either way, and then you know how the story goes, the one drop rule. But the one drop rule existed, what was it, as late as the 80s, where someone you could not, people talk about why don't you identify as white? You couldn't.
But that's what I'm
You
saying.
were not
So when it
allowed to
right, so
identify
when did
as white.
so when did that change? Is what I'm asking. Like when did
I
it?
don't think they're saying identify as white. I think they're saying identify as biracial. And so you're just so in other words, we're saying, okay, so now we just have this new category.
I,
But the reality is
yeah, but
there's no conceptual understanding of what that is.
yeah,
Because you're either going to be treated as white or not.
and it's more than that. It's like, what if your mom is mixed and your dad is black? Or your mom's mixing your dad is white. Like now we're getting into like back in the day, the octoroons and all that,
Right.
right? Where you're
Right.
breaking it down. Like again, so where is this really coming from? Just needing another group of people
I
to
don't know
hate,
that yeah,
right?
but I don't know that it has any
Another group
significance
of people to
to hate,
blame
or to
for your
say.
for your situation, your plight in life, right? And so everybody, like I can't because what is the but
I
again,
don't understand the point behind it.
right? Like, but again, my experience could be drastically different, and maybe it is different out there in the world where you know blacks are really treating lighter blacks differently, which would be very
I mean,
unfortunate.
you're saying that like you don't know that that is.
I don't know what that's of course it's possible. I just don't know it to be true. And again, maybe it's because of the circles in society that I move and operate in, but Like I don't. Where are the black country clubs where light skinned dudes aren't allowed to join? Yeah, as I said, you can't even like say like with like something as old and as timeless as like fraternities. Like, there's no like fraternity that's like we have a color scale, and if you're this color, you can't get. You know what I mean? So
You
where
don't
does this
remember the
happen?
jigaboos and the wannabes?
Yeah, but wasn't based on the on.
Absolutely was. Did you watch School Days?
Yeah, it was, but if you look at it, it wasn't. That's what was. And again, who was the one singing the song?
They were both singing the
Who was
song.
the one
It was
drive?
a dance
Who was the
battle.
one driving the conversation there? The guys or the girls?
It's a girl.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Right? It was definitely the girls, right? Again, because the hair is different and da da da, and guys like the main the head dude in the one frat, the light skinned brother. He might not be mixed, but he ain't fucking African Bombada black.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was. Everybody should be taught in school. You should have to watch that in social studies.
That was a great movie. Well, either way, I think that there's so much at play. I don't know. I think it's crazy to just say biracial people should just because
Should just what?
should all just consider themselves biracial, not black or white. And I say that all because no, we again we all look drastically different, very
Yeah,
different.
well, yeah, and that's the point. Like, and that's why I don't.
And what's crazy is so do black people.
That's why I don't. I guess.
There's a
Yo, in
black
my
person,
mind,
black woman out there who could say
no,
she's
look,
hundred
no matter
percent black.
how
She's
many,
lighter than I am.
no matter how many ways we talk about this or whatever, I still feel like what we're talking about is something that the entity has planted out there to make people think there's something going on that isn't. Because again, there are, like you said, there are so many shades and variations of black. Like, who's really
Like look at our kids alone.
right? But that's what I'm saying. Who's really distinct? Like, who in the black community, or any same with Asians and Indians and all these things? Like, I just don't think we've gotten to the point with white people where we're turning the focus inward to ourselves. I could
That's
be
what I thought
I
was
could
wrong.
be completely wrong.
That's what I
And
thought. I was like, wait a minute.
I not know,
We have too much shit going on to be
still
turning
right,
around and saying, "Oh, you know what we could do now?" No, we can't afford to do that now. So cut the shit with that one.
right. So
Because
again,
we
that's why I'm
cannot.
like, where is it really coming from? A small group of people who just want to get clicks or whatever. Because again, it just sounds like it's something that's happening more in the virtual world than in the real world. And I'm sure people will tell me I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about. But again, I would love to see the proof of it.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's gotten to the point where, like, like I coach high school sports. Like, boys let Hispanics say nigga. Like, to them too, right? Like, they are, like, it is still very much, like,
same in
brown
right.
or not, right? Like, so that's what I'm saying. So who on the brown side is like, not brown enough? Not brown the same. Not like what you know what I mean? Who is really doing that?
I
Like,
don't know, but people are finding the time and the energy
like,
to be negative.
well, I'm sure it has more to do
As
with
usual.
the Candace
The last
with
thing
the
anyone
Candace
should have to be
with the
worried
Candace
about.
Owens syndrome.
What's that?
just saying whatever you gotta say to be like to get clicks and get paid. Like, right? Like,
I mean, she has a platform. She doesn't just say whatever.
she just says what the fuck ever. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, who are we kidding? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's not, we all, you know what I mean? Like,
I suppose.
get out of here.
Oh, well. Well, fun fact, we're coming up on our 22nd anniversary, Rob.
I know. Just a few days away.
Just a few days away. Any words of wisdom for the young people out
that's
here?
That's another podcast, I'm sure.
Considering hopping on the train of that journey. Mm-hmm. No?
Yeah, it's like any other journey in life. Like my man Hover said, number one rule for my set, gotta learn to live with regrets. Right? You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have mishaps. Right? Learn to live with it and, follow your heart. You'll be fine.
Follow your heart. Well, thank you all for listening in again to another episode of Doobie and Pins. Again with your hosts, Jen and Rob. And we'll be sure to see you next week, Tuesday morning. Till then.